Hi, I'm Catherine Diorio, and welcome to Check Please, the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go check them out and see what they think. This week, real estate investor Aide Caldero says that even though burger joints are popping up faster than condos, only one can be the best in Chicago, and she's found it. But consultant Taylor Somack says that while burgers are nice, he'd advise us all to try his Northside spot where simple dishes are elevated to memorable classics. Up first, Consumer Relations Director Kim McMiller loves to try all kinds of food. When she's looking for some passionate Southern cooking with a twist, there's only one place for her. She says for fantastic fare and charm to spare, follow her to Kenwood and stop in at Norman's Bistro.
You should expect an amazing experience. Phenomenal food, great libation, and just a wonderful time. It's American Creole. We call it American Creole with the Brazilian flair. Well, I highly recommend the Lofton Shrimp Gumbo. That's a #1 seller. The lamb chops are amazing, absolutely amazing. And as a side, our Creole collard greens are absolutely succulent. The duck burger, the duck dressing, well, I can go through the menu because it's all exceptional. I want to say that I've had a wonderful experience at Norman's. It's fun, it's comfortable, it's unpretentious. Norman's Bistro. In fact, many people reference it as it's like home. Norman's Bistro.
So Kim, you say Norman's has got it going on. Tell us why you chose it.
Well, I chose Norman's because it's a great neighborhood restaurant. You can go casual, you can dress up, you can put on your 9 to 5 outfit and go and feel very comfortable. So if you want casual, sit down with friends, have a cocktail, laugh, unwind from the week, it's the perfect place to go.
Great. And what kind of food can we find there?
It's Creole and American. It's a mixture of a lot of things, but really good, flavorful food, great service. I love it.
I thought Norman's was quite a treat. We went there on a Saturday night because we thought that it's kind of a nice date night, very sophisticated, and it was just really nice music playing, a kind of old school R&B music, and the host, which I believe was Norman, was very welcoming and happy to have us.
Hey, beautiful, how are you?
So we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Great.
I enjoyed my experience in Norman's. It was a little bit of a mixed bag. The first time I went, they were supposed to have live music, and there was a mix-up, and we came, they actually wouldn't let us eat because it was completely full from a jazz private event, I guess they were having, so it was a little disappointing.
Yeah, you can rent out the whole restaurant.
I guess so,
that.
yes, and they told us that wasn't an issue when I called it. So we went the next week, much better experience. There wasn't the live music, so it didn't really have that same atmosphere, which I missed.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the food was fantastic. It was extremely flavorful and very unique. So, usually with a restaurant, the most important thing is the food, and I loved it, so I had a good time.
Well, and there's also the bar area that it's like a lounge where there's music.
Right.
And I know, Taylor, you said you stopped there after dinner for a drink.
Well, we
right?
heard a bunch of noise, and we thought there was a party in the kitchen. We were like, what's going on back there?
wait
And they're like,
a
well,
second.
actually, there's a lounge back there. So we took our drinks back there, about 20 people, a DJ, some TV, some music. It was a lot of fun. But we didn't know what to expect. It was kind of a hidden room in the back. It was a good time.
Actually, that's what I really loved because you feel like you're in this romantic, sexy, sophisticated restaurant when you're having dinner, but then if you want to continue on and have drinks afterwards, there's a comfortable place for you to go afterwards and not take up a table.
Right.
And just be a little bit more comfortable in the lounge.
So let's talk about the food. Let's get into some details. Why don't you tell me what some of your favorite things are to get there, Kim?
So I had the Caribbean grilled half duck, which was awesome. It was so moist, so tender, and with a side of sauteed spinach, and I love spinach, and it was just perfectly seasoned, it was just perfectly prepared. I love the ribs too. For dessert, I had the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I thought, okay, peanut butter and jelly, You know, you eat that at lunchtime or whatever, but I thought, okay, I'll try it. When they brought it out, they had it cut very nicely, and you could see the peanut butter kind of oozing out. It was heavenly.
I had actually the yams. I had the half Caribbean chicken, you know,
Yeah.
the duck. I had
Yeah.
the chicken. That was unbelievable with the glaze on it and the
It's
vegetables.
perfect.
But it came with this side of yams, and it was one of the best sides I've ever eaten. I could eat sweet potatoes all day, but this was
Right.
specifically
Yeah.
unbelievable. And
Yeah.
it was really good, really good. And then I had the peach cobbler, which I probably shouldn't have had, but if
Yeah.
I see peach cobbler on the menu, I'm ordering it. And
Right.
it was one of the best I've ever had as well. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking about the food, I'd say you'd have to get the side, the corn pudding.
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
phenomenal. And the mini ribs, and
Oh,
those mini ribs
mini
just
ribs
fell
are
off the
awesome.
bone. So we got a cup of gumbo. I wish I would have gotten a bowl because it was delicious. And it had chicken and sausage, and it was spicy and flavorful and just wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I had the entree portion, of course. I never can just get the side of anything for the first time. And that had shrimp, chicken, and lobster. A lot of lobster. It was unbelievably good.
Yeah.
It was very unique, and I knew to get that just because I'd looked ahead of time. But when I got there, the first thing they recommended was get the
It's the
gumbo, and I was
gumbo.
not disappointed at all. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's Creole, American Creole style,
Yeah.
so it's kind of doesn't stick to those hard and fast rules of Creole cooking. So with his gumbo, he kind of adds some interesting things. I mean, it's a chicken chipotle sausage, and then he had some Jack Daniels in
Yes.
there.
Smells everything.
Right, little Chardonnay,
Right.
little roast chicken.
Yes.
So it's kind of like his nice own take, you know. It gives us,
Yeah.
which is really what the heart of gumbo is.
Right.
Is gumbo really reflects the cultures and neighborhoods, and it can really change from place to place. So Taylor, you traveled all the way from Lincoln Park to get there. So can you tell us a little bit about the neighborhood as you were driving through? And
It was actually really unique. It was nice. It's right kind of off the water. It's not too far in off the lake. It's not too far from Hyde Park, which I'd been to before. So yeah, the neighborhood was very nice. People were nice, and it was a nice, quiet, relaxed setting for a good meal.
And remember, free parking.
That's
Free
true.
Free
That-
parking. Yes.
That's a big one. That was very easy. That's a big one.
I
Yes.
actually think it's a unique drive for people who really enjoy seeing a new Chicago neighborhood. When
Yeah.
you come off of Lakeshore Drive on Oakwood, you take a side street and you go a couple blocks down, and it's these beautiful homes, a mix of these old, gorgeous, historic homes. I've been to the neighborhood, but I think a lot of people would be like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, this is just this gorgeous pocket of Chicago in an area I've not experienced before.
so Kim, you chose Norman's Bistro. Sum it up for us.
Succulent food, excellent value and service, and great ambiance.
Can I be?
Great gumbo, and just a wonderful South Side restaurant.
Perfect. And Taylor?
Great food, great people, and a great time.
You can try the gumbo for yourself at Norman's Bistro, 1001 East 43rd Street, 773-966-5821. Open for lunch and dinner, Wednesday through Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $25. Ivy Caldero knows that with the barrage of new burger joints in Chicago, some are simply pretenders. But she says that no doubt about it, her selection is the real deal. She says for a burger so good, it's like music to her ears. Follow her to Irving Park Road and join her at Leadbelly.
Leadbelly is kind of a play on words, but we love music here, and we kind of have a music theme going on here. And a lot of the musicians that we listen to all kind of came from or inspired by Leadbelly, the musician, the folk and blues musician from the 30s, and also kind of the play on it being, you know, a full stomach at the end of the meal that you're going to get here. Well, you should definitely expect some of your favorite ingredients, but not how you expect them. You know, you might take some Mexican ingredients and put them on a burger, or breakfast ingredients and putting them on a burger. Most people, I'd say 90% of the people I serve a burger to, take their camera phone out and take a picture of what they're eating, and people are in awe. Like, holy cow, I did not expect this out of this place. It's a fun experience. It gets a little crowded, but it's fun. Every day is different, and I love meeting people and talking to everybody and serving really great food. So it just makes me feel good at the end of the day.
Ivy, you say Leadbelly is all about quality. Tell us why you chose it.
Yes, I chose it because, it's just such a unique find in the city. You go there and it's just this very obscure location and this very obscure, just even when you walk in, you see just a counter and a couple tables and you're like, where am I? And then you have a moment to look at the menu and you realize you're in burger heaven.
Yeah.
And so you look at the menu and there's about 10 burgers, all uniquely created. Who thought to put bacon with blue cheese, barbecue sauce, and onions in the same dish, right? And then top it off with a meat that is freshly ground every day on this buttery bun that's freshly baked every day. And it's just sheer perfection.
Yeah. So we had 8 of the 10 burgers. It was 10 of us that went, yes. Because I thought, you know what, it's a burger joint. It's probably good for, family, whatever. So it was 10 of us that went. I had the gallows pole burger. But it's funny, when they started to bring the burgers out, we were all like, because the burgers are huge, but they are so good. And that bun is so soft. And I had the blue cheese French fries. Excellent. It's just the perfect amount of blue cheese with the buffalo sauce added to them. It was heavenly. It was funny because I thought, okay, I like to eat my burgers picking it up and I don't like to cut it, but I thought it is no way I can pick this gigantic burger up and eat it respectfully. So I actually did have to cut it. And I ended up taking half home because it's just so much, but it's so good.
I thought it was fantastic. I actually took my 2 friends that had just gotten engaged. This is my big engagement gift to them. Was came into a burger restaurant, so they probably had low expectations.
5 pounds before the wedding.
Right.
We had a great time. We couldn't believe how good it was. It's rare you see a burger cooked that well, perfectly medium, homemade buns, all these crazy options. Actually, the one thing I really liked the most is one of my friends is a vegetarian, and instead of just doing a veggie burger, you can make any burger basically a veggie burger with a portobello patty, which I thought was a really nice little touch, and she loved her. She actually had the same burger I did, just with a portobello patty, and they were both fantastic. But the coolest thing I thought about Leadbelly is my friend ordered one with a fried chicken patty and a crab cake on top, which doesn't sound good at all, but it was unbelievable. It was better than the one I had. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten. It was absolutely incredible.
It's a little bit like a surf and turf. It's a way different take
you
on it,
wouldn't expect
right?
that at all. It worked. I don't know why, it just worked.
Yes.
It just worked.
Because all the ingredients are high quality, and then all of, like in your burger, the truffle alioli is homemade. So all of the sauces that they put on it are homemade, and so they ensure that they balance right, and they're not just using a prepackaged sauce.
Well, Nicole O'Brien, she is the owner of Leadbelly, and she was actually a Chicago public school teacher. And when all the strikes were happening, she said, oh my God, I gotta maybe figure something else out. And this Leadbelly was actually born out of that, of what else could I do if I decide not to be a teacher. But her husband is actually a trained chef, so he consulted on the menu, and she runs the restaurant now.
What's nice is they have burgers with a fried egg on it. Just when you have a fried egg on a burger, it just makes it even much better.
And speaking of toppings, their fries, the toppings, we had one with Polish sausage and sauerkraut
That
on
was
the fries.
delicious.
My friend wanted that one, and just like his burger, I was like, that doesn't sound good either. That was great.
Were you able to finish your fries too?
Oh, absolutely.
Really? Wow.
There's no way those fries were going unfinished. And we had the garlic Parmesan fries, and those were incredible as well.
The one with the pork belly on the fries is just as good, and that in itself is like a meal.
Yeah.
So, okay, if service is ever gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong when you roll in with 10 people to a 6-table restaurant.
Yes.
How was your service?
You know what? It was phenomenal. So my sister got there first because I made a wrong turn and it took a little bit to get there. But we walked in, they were already putting tables together. They were amazing.
Really nice people there.
Yeah.
Really, we sat there for 10 minutes asking them what burgers to get. They probably wanted to kick
Exactly,
us out
right.
because I didn't know what to get. They all looked so good, and they gave us great recommendations.
Right.
They were really friendly about it.
And I think the ambiance in the sense is that you go to this little place that's kind of like, it looks like a hole in the wall, but then it has this like 80s beats and like 80s, old 80s music
Rock and
videos
roll,
playing.
Really good music.
And just, good music and great beer. just this wonderful craft beer
Yeah.
selection that is going to like meet any taste palette that you want.
I happened to go on the night they had $2 beers, so that was
Oh,
even
nice.
better.
Yeah.
And it was literally the perfect accompaniment to the
Were
burger.
you-
Did anyone try the milkshakes?
I did, no way.
did.
Oh.
I
Too
did.
full. Too full. No way that was.
They were just amazing. They're handmade milkshakes, and so there's not a lot of places that still do that. And if you want, they'll put some alcohol in it,
Yes.
right? So they have some milkshakes that come spiked.
Well, either you chose Leadbelly, sum it up for us.
Leadbelly, it's burger heaven at a great price in a fun, new, interesting neighborhood.
Great. Kim?
Great neighborhood burger joint, excellent burgers, and phenomenal service.
Taylor?
Leadbelly's the place to go for great burgers, to meet really nice people, served with really good flavor combinations.
You can try the burgers, beer, and more at Leadbelly, 5739 West Irving Park, 773-283-7880. Open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $12. Taylor Somack can sometimes be a tough critic, but try as he might, he never finds fault with his selection. He says for sandwiches from the heavens and a chill-out vibe, head on over to North Avenue and stop in at Birchwood Kitchen.
We're a neighborhood place, and so what we were trying to create is a really warm environment for people, and to come in here and try some food that's really approachable, but at the same time a little bit challenging. We use really interesting ingredients. We do a lot of things in-house from scratch. And but most of all, just come in here, have some great food, great service, because Lane does a wonderful job on that front. And just enjoy themselves in a casual atmosphere.
Chef Jessie, her food is Birchwood. She loves cooking to make people happy. She likes to cook delicious, seasonal, just tasty, comforting food. I think it's kind of a second home for people, and we care about them, and in turn they care about us, which is kind of why we're here.
We have a really warm, wonderful group that works in the front of the house. So I think that combination of having interesting, approachable food and really warm service, just people like to come back.
Taylor, you say Birchwood Kitchen kills it. Tell us why you chose it.
It's one of the best places in the city if you're interested in homemade food. The people there are incredibly nice, and it's a very comfortable, relaxed atmosphere for any meal of the day. It's actually really interesting. Their menu rotates seasonally, and so some of the menus are a little heavier maybe in the winter and a little lighter in the summer. But you can get all different kinds of food. They're really well known for their brunch. That's when they're probably busiest. That's where I love their croque madame. I don't know if anyone's had that with the egg on top. It's fantastic. But during the winter, the first thing I ever had there was the pot roast sandwich, which is obviously a completely different food category, which was also incredible. So they can do literally anything: breakfast, lunch, dinner, where they do burgers, all different kinds of burgers. So they really are a very versatile restaurant with high quality homemade food.
I thought that it was this very comfortable, cozy restaurant that's just bright and airy. Everybody was really nice from the moment we got there, the hostess. And the menu is really interesting. I think it really is more kind of on the vibe of the type of food in terms of fresh and healthy ways to make delicious food, more so than just being, oh, this is American or this is this type of restaurant. And I like the concept of this kind of healthier, fresh food that you can get for brunch or lunch or dinner, rather than just kind of a normal restaurant.
What was your experience?
My experience was good. I liked the restaurant. I wasn't in love with it.
That hurts.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Taylor. It's a great ambiance. But my particular meal, I didn't like it. I had the herb-crusted pork tenderloin, and it was dry. However, I went with my neighbors and my sister, and my sister loved her burger so much so that, it came with bacon. She asked for extra bacon, which they accommodated.
Yeah, and they have great sides there too, and their dessert as well. I don't even like butterscotch, but their oatmeal butterscotch cookie, I don't know if you had that. It's about that big. It's incredible.
Well,
It's
I
really
did
good.
have the carrot cake, and I'm not a fan of carrot cake, but oh my gosh, I would go back there for the carrot cake because it was really moist and delicious. Yeah.
Which isn't easy with carrot cake.
No,
Carrot
it
cake
isn't.
oftentimes tends to be really dry. And crumbly.
No, not
And they
there.
execute on dessert as well as breakfast just as well. Like
Yeah.
the French toast, they have a specialty French toast for brunch every weekend. And so I had it with some plums on top of the French toast, and that was just phenomenal.
It's not your typical, egg omelet kind of place.
Yeah.
They do a wide variety of foods that are still brunch-esque, but they're not your traditional brunch
Yeah.
food, and that's why I really like going there for brunch.
So, who would you bring there, Ivy?
I definitely think this is a fun place to go to with friends. It's lively. No one's going to tell you to hush up because it's just a lively crowd. You can be a little loud. It's great because it's BYOB, so I think that helps lower the cost of the overall meal. And so you can have a sophisticated lunch, brunch, dinner with a group of friends. It's a great price point as well. I think most of the breakfast items were under $10. And it has prosciutto and fresh cheese and heirloom tomatoes. I'm like, that's a good price point.
See, and
It's
I
just a
couldn't
nice neighborhood.
decide if I thought it was expensive or not because we didn't have alcohol because I didn't realize it was BYOB. So we just had, lemonade and we had our entrees and then we had, I think, 2 desserts. It was about $20 per person. And I just thought, considering the amount of food that I had and the fact that I didn't have alcohol, that it seemed a little expensive to me, I think.
They make everything in house, and to
Yeah.
me that there's almost no price you can put in that. Obviously,
That's
at some
nice.
point it's too much, but when everything's high quality homemade, I'm willing to pay for that. And I think they could. I don't want to say this on TV. They could charge more, in my opinion.
You know what I found so interesting is, Taylor, you live in Lincoln Park, and this is the kind of has almost like a neighborhoody cafe kind of feel. But you come all the way from Lincoln Park to go to Bucktown.
Yeah.
I've been asking them. Judd, the owner, is one of the nicest people you ever meet.
is.
I've been begging him, please open in Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
I want to be able to walk there.
Yeah.
It's just very comfortable, and you're exactly right. It's a neighborhood restaurant, but that doesn't mean it's only just for people in the neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah, there's something about being really comfortable, where the people are good people, they're really nice with really high quality food. I'll drive anywhere for that.
And they have a really nice outdoor seating area too. It feels like you're sitting in someone's backyard, just having a nice lunch, nice dinner.
And they have the lights
casual
strung up. I don't know if you're at night, but they have the lights at night are really nice.
It's really nice.
Well, it's in such a booming neighborhood, but it's set off from that really bustle of 6 corners. I think, why don't you tell us a little bit about that area there?
Well, it's really funny because I grew up about half a mile from the restaurant. The neighborhood has transformed so much. So this is this nice neighborhood, and it's very walkable in terms of other nice restaurants and service providers for your dog and little boutiques on North Avenue.
Well, Taylor, you chose Birchwood Kitchen. Sum it up for us.
It's a fantastic neighborhood restaurant with some of the best homemade food you'll find, served by some of the nicest people you'll find in the city.
Great. Ivy?
It's a wonderful restaurant with fresh, high-quality ingredients in a fun and lively neighborhood.
And Kim?
Eclectic menu, great farm-to-table fresh food, and great service, great people.
You can try the sandwiches and much more at Birchwood Kitchen, 2211 West North Avenue, 773-276-2100. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Tuesday through Friday, and also for brunch on the weekends. Reservations are not accepted, alcohol is BYOB, and the average tab per person is $20. So on this week's show, we featured Norman's Bistro in Kenwood, Leadbelly in Portage Park, and Birchwood Kitchen in Wicker Park. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we rode down to 43rd Street and checked out Norman's Bistro. Kim recommends it and thinks it's a great neighborhood restaurant. Taylor thought the food was flavorful and liked the lounge atmosphere. Ivy thought it was a nice spot with a welcoming staff. Next, we parked it at Portage Park and tried out Leadbelly. Ivy recommends it and says it's the ultimate burger heaven. Taylor was pleasantly surprised with the unique flavors Kim had excellent service and really enjoyed the burgers. Lastly, we went to North Avenue and brought you to Birchwood Kitchen. Taylor recommends it and says it's one of the best places in the city for any meal of the day. Ivy said it was a cozy restaurant with an interesting menu. Kim wasn't in love with her entree, but liked the other menu items she tried. We had an awesome time this week. I'd want to thank my guests, Kim McMiller, Taylor Somack, and Ivy Caldero. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Catherine Diorio, and I'll see you then. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.